The Fantastic Four released a scene which sets up a possible banger of a movie, and it's all due to this line.
We attempted to negotiate. He asked too high a price. He asked for our child.
This sets up a classic trolley problem, except with multiple levels, depending on how far out you look compared to the universe. Are you saving your child, or the world, or every other planet that is about to be eaten by Galactus? Everyone will be entirely justified in not sacrificing what they care about. And this trolley problem allows you to make a much deeper movie, because now you're not just punching Galactus in the face, now you're exploring an idea. You're looking at what it means to be a hero. Should a hero save everybody, or is there a line? If you don't sacrifice the child, well, now every single innocent person on Earth that dies during your fight is blood on your hands. How many of other people's lives is worth your child? And if you do that, even if you defeat Galactus, are you a hero anyway?
Could you take us through how you defeated Galactus?
We didn't.
Are we safe?
I don't know.
If the humans do rebel and fight you, purely in self-defense at this point, are you justified in killing them to stop them? And if so, how many are you justified to do before you should sacrifice your child? And is sacrificing your child the right thing to do in the first place? These ideas have been seen in other TV shows, but it is the analysis of an idea in entertainment which gives it its complexity, which gives it the depth that people actually pay attention to and walk out of the cinema feeling something that they'll remember. It's not punching Galactus in the face that's important. It's why you're punching him in the face. Not that I think Marvel will do anything like this. This video is exploring stuff that I'm interested in, not that I think Marvel will do. Just, this is the film you could have had. I have absolutely no doubt that after this line in the movie,
He asked too high a price. He asked for our child.
Marvel will not even consider the idea, immediately undercut it in the most basic way possible, probably in the most effeminate way possible about feelings or something. There'll be a, you can do it, and then everyone goes, no, we can all get together and live in harmony as equals. That's what I think will probably happen.
The clock is ticking.
Family. It's about connecting to something bigger than yourself. We'll face it together as a family.
Having seen recent Marvel movies, they don't do depth. They do the most basic, most shallow, just how people feel level. There is no analysis of ideas or morality or complexity. They're not capable of it.
What's the plan?
Look at the charmer. So the surfboard, is that part of your body, or is that...
But it doesn't matter if Marvel can't think on that level, if they don't think it's important. Because whether they realize it or not, it's the most important part of this movie. And this movie is incredibly important to Marvel. Not only is it the start of a new phase in the MCU, leading up to Doomsday, unarguably the most important movie for them since Infinity War and Endgame, so they want to pull out all the stops for Fantastic Four to give it a good run-up, and hopefully get people excited, not only in the MCU, but the Fantastic Four, which seems like they're going to be a big deal in the MCU in the future. Oh yes, if you're hoping you can get away from Pedro anytime soon, you're going to be sorely disappointed. In fact, this movie is so important to Marvel, they're teaming up with the DCU as part of the marketing, joining forces with Superman to make some kind of weird Barbenheimer dysgenic mutation, even though the movies are utterly unrelated and 2 weeks apart at the cinema. And the way they decided to market this was by making a rainbow. A rainbow SF4 logo with the two blokes marketing it, obviously. With that colour scheme, it couldn't be anything else. Got out wondering if this was Pedro's idea, although seeing the marketing between Karen Sweat and Nicholas Hoult, they'd probably be on board as well.
Superman tickets are on sale now.
Wow, you really are in love with him. Yeah. Hold me.
I've been third-wheeling all day.
Or at least more than happy to bait the fans into it. And it wasn't just one piece of marketing either. They did multiple combo pictures, holding hands. I mean, shaking hands, but this is Pedro. Holding hands. And let's be honest, if the marketing is that Reed Richards and Superman might be getting it on, it's a good job that guy can stretch. In fact, with QT recently coming out and going, he quit Doctor Who because he was getting old and his body was tired, on top of his leaving speech talking about how much his knees hurt.
I would love to have the energy and the youth to be able to do this, but my knees are telling me it's time. This is so cool, this level of representation.
Only to recently call working on Doctor Who the hardest he's ever had to work. He will never be as stimulated and stretched as he was on Doctor Who with Russell T Davies. You need to get that man on the Fantastic Four. Cutie's got a personal best to break. If anyone can do it, Superman can. Now, one of Fantastic Four's strong points will be Pedro Pascal. What they're hoping seems to be what all of Hollywood is hoping, as they just keep ramming him through in various different movies, with 3 chances just this summer to watch him be the lead in a movie. For some reason, he doesn't see himself as the lead in these movies.
From The Last of Us to Materialist to Eddington, how does it feel to be the internet's favorite leading man?
I'm excited to discover leading man experiences. 3 of the things that you mentioned are all supporting roles.
Don't worry, mate, that's just because you got dangly bits. They're not in this season. But with the media trying to say that the Fantastic Four First Steps will be unlike any Marvel movie recently due to a major shake-up to save the franchise, that's where I want to ask, how are you going to change it? Are you actually going to add some depth to this one? Movies in general have entirely dropped depth because they don't think ideas matter anymore, whether that's just because they can't abstract and so are incapable of even thinking on that level, or it's just that their sheer obsession with identity led them to think that identities are all you needed in a movie. It wasn't just because they stopped believing that a person was good because of their deeds. No, now a person is good for their identity. They also thought that the quality of a movie was made up by the identities in it.
Everyone is represented. Women, young women, women of color.
That people didn't really judge a movie on anything more complex than, I'm there, I can see myself. The Hollywood industry really was full of just a lower class of person that was incapable of comprehending what made a good movie in the first place. I don't think changing that is the big shake-up they're about to do, but we'll see. Now, I'm not going to say any spoilers for Fantastic Four because I don't know any, but we can put together a bit of context for the clip from the trailers itself. It'll start with them being interviewed. There's some kind of problem that they go off and fight. After celebrating this, when they're back home, they can see that something's happening. The Silver Surfer comes down, announces that Galactus is here, and then after the Human Torch flies up to meet her, they go off to negotiate with Galactus himself. Something happens during this where he offers them a deal. If you will give me your son, I will not destroy Earth. The Fantastic Four seemingly balk at this idea and have to run away from him. They then make the incredibly stupid decision to announce to the world that although Galactus is going to destroy the planet, and you could stop him just by sacrificing one person, you told him where he can shove it.
He asked too high a price.
The rest of the film at this point would seemingly be obvious. The entire world would turn against you. Every government would turn against you. You are 4 random people in the world. They don't give a toss about you or your child. The world would care about saving themselves, and every nation would team up to get the kid. They would end up fighting the world. At the same time, they're trying to fight Galactus. And you have the 3-layered problem. You're justified in not wanting to give it your kid because it's your kid. And you care more about your child than strangers. But it's the same for them. They care about their lives more than they do your kid. The heroic decision would seem to be you sacrifice your child. Although you could turn that around again by going, well, if Galactus gets the child, he'll be so much more powerful, he'll destroy even more worlds. So now you're thinking on a greater level than them, and you're willing to sacrifice Earth in an attempt to save the rest of the universe. It's these kind of conversations or debates or exploring the ideas that makes it interesting. And it's been done in other shows. If you have not seen The Children of Earth from Torchwood, you need to go and watch it. I'm not going to spoil it because I think you should watch it. But as a vague description, it deals with this exact problem. Aliens come to Earth, start demanding children. What do? Do you back down? You know you can't defeat them. Would you sacrifice the children? And if so, how many? How many would they have to ask for before you said no? Now, there will be some people that don't understand the topic. I think most of these people are in Hollywood. These are the same kind of people that would just be like, well, you can give that one up. You can have another child. Like, no, you don't understand. I like this one. These are the same kind of people that have no problem with remakes destroying things. It's like, well, you know, that other one exists. What do you care if we race and gender swap something? You've still got more Bond. It's all the same, right?
At the end of the day, is Robin Hood, as you remember Robin Hood, a little flyer than normal.
I actually think that these kind of ideas need to be in entertainment because it's through entertainment that a lot of those people would learn what the ideas even were. The questions, the answers, the exploration, because they've never thought about them. And without essentially being presented with these ideas, would never think about them. But The Children of Earth explores these ideas in depth, and the ending is absolutely incredible. Presents them with a situation, you get lots of people with different perspectives, and in a way similar to Star Trek, what you think about what happens is up to you. It leaves you thinking, what would you have done in that situation? And that's required for stories, because otherwise you end up alienating people. If you choose something and push an idea as good when it's actually evil, then you just end up alienating the audiences. Whereas when a movie is about ideas, it allows you to just explore them from different people's perspective. Different heroes have different morality. They all have their own perspective, what they want to get done. The audience chooses who they like. This doesn't alienate people, it gets people thinking. And unlike many superheroes before, it doesn't leave the audience going, but the villain was the good guy and the good guys were evil, like Robin Hood or Ironheart, the Acolyte.
Our culture that promotes killers and killing, a culture that I help promote.
Now, a prediction for Fantastic Four, I bet someone goes, maybe we should hand the kid over. And everyone, no! And the movie just takes it as if it's an obvious moral decision. They won't consider anything else in the trolley problem. No one will go, well, what makes that guy's life worth more than others? I don't even have a problem if that's what the family want to think. Seems reasonable. But they would have to say that. Well, of course I care about my own rather than I care about random strangers. Because the worst thing you could do is treat this as if it's just an objective fact. No, we're never going to give him up. Because you could end up in a situation where, let's say, they go out and they convince the crowd, we're all in this together and you can't sacrifice that, and so you need to put your lives in our hands. Those people don't have a choice. You are asking them to either murder you so that they can save their world, like do a horrific action in order to save their world, or fight you and die because they're just normal people. They can't really stop you. You're forcing them or guilt-tripping them into a situation and a decision they don't want to do. They don't have the ability to consent to it because they don't have the option to do the opposite. You're essentially exploiting Earth and being like, no, we all agreed, right? Yeah, we all agreed. There's even an interesting question that, yeah, if you manipulate the rest of the Earth to all fall in line with you, and then even if you win and you defeat Galactus, after you've sacrificed all those innocent people in those streets, are you still a hero? That's why some people go, well, of course you can't sacrifice somebody. Like, well, what about if you should, though? As somebody is getting sacrificed, we're just deciding who's the most valuable here, and who's the most valuable to who. Who's the superior person that gets to make the decision, and has the right to, because they have the power to. You know power.
Force, my friends, is violence, the supreme authority from which all other authority is derived.
Even have questions after the fact, which, I doubt they'll do. You valued the life of your child more than 1,000 strangers. Still want to say you're the good guys. I'm not even saying I disagree with it. I'm saying that's an interesting idea to analyze in a movie. We saved our child with the blood of innocence.
Hands, are we the baddies?
Now, the worst thing the Fantastic Four would do is just undercut all of this, have a big speech done, everyone joins their side, they'll go, yeah, we'll fight Galactus for you, we'll die just to save your brat. Then it turns out the baby is actually Galactus's kryptonite, and that's why he wanted him, so he couldn't be defeated or something. And so they just use the baby to defeat him, and the answer to the problem is the problem. That is the most two-dimensional, shallow, basic bit storyline you could come up with. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it. I thought of it in 5 seconds. If they do that, they're idiots. It removes all the heroism from their actions. It removes consequences, responsibility, duty, sacrifice. Instead now, rather than defeating Galactus for heroic reasons to save the Earth, they're doing it for selfish reasons to save themselves. And the only cost that they're gambling with is the lives of the 6.5 billion innocent people on the planet. Is that a hero? It's interesting to think about. Is it more moral to care about you and yours than random strangers? Do the Fantastic Four even have a duty to those people at all? Any kind of discussion on this would be better than just instantly having everybody on side. Oh no, of course we'll all die to save some random kid that you've just had 5 minutes ago. Conflict in a story is interesting, but this would be conflict with the very people that you want to save. As an interesting thing to play with in stories is when characters mirror each other, and that's what this does. You want to save your child because it's your child, versus 6.5 billion people who all want to save themselves because it's themselves. Of course they value them more than you. And then you're like, well, I want to save the rest of the universe and all the other planets in the universe, and I'll sacrifice this one. And they turn around and go, no, I want to save this planet because it's my planet. They can even turn around to you and go, you should also want to save this planet because this planet is the one with your baby in. You have to protect your world because that world is where your family is. Is it more moral to have a narrow morality where you care more about the people near you and don't really care about the ones really far away? Or you care more about the ones really far away and don't really care about the ones near you? You could make a story be the living embodiment of the graph, or my preferred version, the food graph, and have the audience leave the cinema feeling and thinking about something. There's topics to talk about on the way home. Fans get to actually discuss a situation, the pros and the cons. What would they have done if it had been them? And for once in many years, actually leave a cultural imprint. This is what ideas are for in entertainment, and it's what things like Star Trek did really well. But it's what Hollywood has entirely stripped of all its entertainment. Now everything is just the lowest common denominator. It's all feelings, no thought. And while you can focus on characters, there's no reason to. It is the classic saying, small minds think about people, mediocre minds think about events, great minds think about ideas. But it's also how you analyze all of those things. So the people and feelings is the bottom, but you use characters to explore events, and then you use those events to explore the ideas. And when you have all 3 layers of abstraction, you make something satisfying. It's the opposite of just turn your brain off, it'll be fine. And it's not that a brainless action movie isn't entertaining. I like them myself. but it's not going to leave any cultural imprint, and it's not going to revive a franchise. It's certainly not going to kick one off. Not going to have people waiting with bated breath for the next one. And that's what Marvel needs. I was genuinely surprised when I saw the first clip of Fantastic Four, because it's one of the few times in films where it's like, oh, I can actually see what you're going to do with that. That's a great idea. Just have no confidence in you to actually follow through with it. I don't even know if you know you've got an idea there. But it is the first time in a long time I've even seen a way for Marvel to actually fix their situation. And that, at least, is a start. And that's a good thing. Well, for now, that's it for me. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe for more videos like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.